So I'm trying a completely new type of video. Often big breakdowns are really useful for understanding overall positions, but a lot of important details in Jiu-Jitsu come up in really specific situations. So I'm gonna show a bunch of useful clips from training today, and I'm gonna do a breakdown after I showed the clip explaining all the in-depth details of why and how I'm doing what I'm doing. This is a new type of content, and I think it's gonna help you guys learn a lot, so be sure to comment and let me know if you guys have any idea of how I can make these narrated rolling type videos better in the format that you guys prefer. And also remember to like, share, subscribe to help support the channel. So the first sequence we're looking at is this daily Hiva off balance sweep. I use my shin under his tailbone from daily Hiva to bump him overhead. I come up on a single leg, take him down. I enter for a knee cut, but he blocks with a knee shield. I transition into a Toreando pass.
So in this situation, I'm defending from guard. Often when you're on your back defending, it's very hard to get a first grip. So two of the first grips you'll often get are either going to be an ankle grip because it's so easy and accessible, or a single sleeve grip. In this case, I get a hold of the ankle or the pant leg and I'm controlling here. One of the first things I do is I always look for this sleeve, because if I control this sleeve, now he can't trap this leg and it's very easy to transition to other attacks, right? But a lot of people will hide that hand because they know you want that. When they hide that hand, I often come up, grab the collar, and I come up on my elbow and create a lot of space. The more space I have, the more momentum I have to off balance him. So as I get this collar, he grabs my foot and steps over to trap. I'm gonna put my foot under his tailbone. I pull and lift, and I keep his weight suspended up on my shin behind his tailbone. From here, I loop my foot under, I push on his hip, and I start to stand up. What I do is, as he comes up, I push the collar to the left as I pull the leg to the right, and that off balances him. Immediately, I try to enter for a knee cut. If I could get in, I would finish, but he blocks with the shield early. So now from here, I grab his ankle with my right hand, I keep this bottom pant leg, and doing a Toreando when they're on their side here can be a little bit tricky, because even if I get around, he can still turn into me. So what I do is, as I drive in, I use my far shoulder to drive into his frame, and that drives him flat to the floor. So I drive here, he frames, and you see I drive with that to flatten him, and now it's easier to dig in and start working to pass.
So here I'm approaching to enter the guard. I often like to push my opponent to their back to initiate the pass. Again, he controls my ankle, so I start to trap the leg to set up a knee cut pass. I pull the knee to stuff it through to set up the knee cut. He lets go to defend by pushing on both shoulders. Here he's defending the cut by turning to the side, so I fold his legs in half and drop in to force a folding pass. Here I keep my chest weight over his chest. This forces him to give the pass, and I take the back here. And I finish with the choke.
So in this sequence, I'm approaching the guard. My opponent is on their back with their legs moving. So I like to keep my legs relatively straight. I hinge at my hips and I come in with my forearm. So a lot of times I can hit Toreandos. In this case, he's gonna grab my ankle. So he grabs my ankle and traps me in daily Hiva. So I push this leg down. I try to avoid this collar grip. Initially, if I can, I trap this foot. Once I trap it, I grab his knee and I'm disconnecting this foot from my leg, which makes it way easier to hit a knee cut pass here, right? Now what happens is, as I do this, he lets go to start framing on me here, so I can't do that because he feels threatened in the position. I want to still go for the cut, but he turns his hip this way, so he's more folded to the side. That makes this knee cut harder. So then what I do is I drop my shin to the side and I knock this out of the way, and I drop chest over chest and fold his hips to the side with my hips. This is called a folding pass. From here, I have the microphone, so I'm not dropping the chest as far as I would. I stay chest over chest here, and now he has to deal with my upper body crushing him. So he's dealing here, and now it makes it much easier for my legs to navigate and move around here like this, right? So from here, I clear my foot over, come around to the side, and here often, because I'm so far around, they turn away. It's easy to take the back and go for the choke.
So I initiate trapping his leg, I grab the knee, he lassos over, and I pop to the right side. Here I land chest to chest. I use my left elbow to help keep him framed to the floor.
So in this sequence, I'm passing the daily Hiva guard. A lot of times if you're having a difficulty passing the open guard, stepping in really close makes it harder for your opponent to loop his legs, because it's like a pipe in the spokes of a wheel. So sometimes I just get close and trap him in daily Hiva. From here, I'm gonna grab this ankle and I wanna trap it to set up a knee cut, which is one of my favorite passes. Here he's on my collar, so I try to pull this knee open, which makes him feel really threatened. Often when you do this, guys are gonna let go to try to push this hand off here, like this, or grab your sleeve, because they can feel the knee cut is about to come. And if they get rid of this hand, then they can keep their knee tight. So what happens is he lassos this foot over my own arm, and then as he pushes this off, it frees my neck up, so I have more space to clear for the reverse leg drag or Toreando. So the big thing when I hit this is I want to make sure I maintain my chest over his chest. A lot of people will do this and they're so far away that now he has space to push me away. So when I'm here, I kill this, I go here, he lassos, pushes the hand off, and I clear here, and I often land with my arm over like this, so I land chest to chest. From here, when I have my chest over, now if he turns into me, I can use my chest to pin him to that side. If he turns the other way, I can use my chest to drop the other way. So you always want to land in that chest over chest position.
Here I initiate with a knee cut entrance. I control the top leg and my left hand on the lapel. Often they clear out that bottom leg, which makes it easy to extend the top leg back, and I do a jumping pass to pass towards my right side. Here he turns away and exposes the back, so I transition to the back and a rear naked choke.
So in this case, I'm approaching the open guard versus an opponent on their side, right? It's very different if they're on their side or if they're centered. So in this case, I grab the top pant leg and I try to shoot him for a knee cut. If I can clear this leg, a lot of times I can come in on a knee cut. But very often your opponent will get his knee shield in. When this happens, I like to grab the lapel and I try to persist for the cut. The only thing that'll often happen here is he'll clear that bottom leg out. If he clears the bottom leg out, now it's very difficult to continue the knee cut because this leg is out and I need this trap to finish. But that's fine. What I do is I keep that pressure forward, put a trap again. I keep that pressure forward so that if he doesn't respond, I kill this leg and knee cut. And if he does clear it out, now this leg gets so far extended behind me that he can't recover it. So you try to bring it back. See, it's stuck, right? So now often he'll grab my collar or my sleeve and look to attack here. And what I want to do is pass to the right. The thing is, if I back up a bunch to pass, I give so much space he can do a lot of attacks, right? I want to stay chest over chest. So while this is extended, I'm going to do a jump here and see how I never lose this over top position. Now that I didn't lose this, it's easy to come down, land. Here, often people will turn away, right? Turn away. Here, and then now that'll expose the back. If he tries to turn back in, then it's easier for me to come in and try to finish a normal pass.
So here I'm grip fighting, leaning on my left side. I get that first pant grip with my left hand here, and now my right hand's looking for a collar or a sleeve. I get a grip on his right sleeve here, and I switch to collar sleeve on my right side. He switches to an opposite leg lead, and I use that off balance to my left to set up an ankle lock.
So in this situation, I'm in a grip fight and I'm playing on a side tilt positioning. So I'm always trying to build my grip off of the first grip they give me while maintaining distance. So if he gives me a sleeve grip, I'll just grab that and build, but a lot of guys are very careful about the first grip they give you. So when I'm playing on the side here, often this pant grip will be very easy to get. Once I get this, I'll usually put my foot on the hip like this. This is sometimes called the keymaster position. And now the next grip he goes for, I'm gonna take. So if he goes for this leg, I'll try to break that. If he goes for this, I'll try to break this. In this case, he grabs here, I break this grip, and now what I'm gonna do is I take my right foot, I put it on the hip, and I shift to the other side. So now I'm switching into a collar sleeve position. If he just stays here, I can attack triangles, omoplatas, and all sorts of other attacks. So often people will lead with their other knee to defend that. From here, because I'm on my side, I have that off balance. When I switch back this way, I pull to this side and grab this leg. Once I grab here, depending on the angle of his foot, I can either go for a matrix or an ankle lock. In this case, his foot's straight, so I pull this in and I lock it into my armpit here. In this case, I didn't even make a grip because I had such a good bite on the foot, and now I extend this way, putting pressure here. You can either do this as a heel hook pressure, which rotates in on the knee, which is questionably legal in IBJJF, or I can go straight back with it and apply the force on top.
So again, I'm playing from a left side tilt here. This time I get the right sleeve, I go deep with a lasso. Now when I shift to the other side, that creates momentum to off balance him forward. He controls my leg, I grab the arm and use this to step in an arm bar and turn it into an omoplata, and I sit up here.
Okay, so I'm grip fighting again, starting on my back here in a side tilt. So this case, I get this sleeve first with my right hand on the top side. So I'm gonna thread a really deep lasso. I put my foot behind his upper back here, it locks it in good. So now, a lot of times from here, if he grabs this leg, I'm looking to get the double sleeve, I can break the grip, and it's very easy to shoot triangles and attacks from here. But in this case, he's hiding the sleeve because he doesn't want me to have that. So I'm gonna grab this lapel with my left hand, and now the act of me turning from my left side all the way to my right side creates a huge off balance this way. People can respond very differently. In this case, he dropped his left knee to the floor, and then now he grabs this pant leg to try to stop me from going to daily Hiva and attacking. So I pull the knee up, I grab behind the elbow, I use my elbow and armpit to break this grip, and now I use my thigh to hit behind his elbow, and this is a really tight arm bar. Usually before you can hit the arm bar, sometimes you can hit it hard and make them tap by screaming, but if they turn their arm here, then you get a really nice omoplata set up, and I can continue from here.
So I start the grip fight sitting up here, and I get one lapel and one sleeve, and I fall back to this half spider guard position. From here, he drives his knee in to balance, and I use that to use this knee shield to off balance him to my right. From here, instead of going for the ankle lock, I throw my leg over for a matrix. I try to go underneath to an X-hook, transition to a crab ride, roll through, and take the back from here.
So this time I'm grip fighting sitting up. So often when I'm sitting up, I'll get like a lapel grip first or a sleeve grip first. In this case, I get both and I fall straight to this half spider position. This is a really powerful guard. It's extremely hard to get out of because you break their posture and you control a sleeve, so it's hard for them to break your grip. Once I get the position, I like to shrimp away a lot because it breaks his posture more, because the further away I am, it breaks his posture. If you haven't seen my video on breaking posture, I'll put it in the description. So once I go back here, he drives his left knee in to kind of support and balance himself. From here, I get a knee shield in, and now I'm gonna do that same off balance I did before by pulling out to the side like this, and I'm gonna catch this pant leg or ankle halfway through the off balance. Once I pull him out here, I could, if he stays forward, go for an ankle lock, but in this case, he turned his knee in. So I throw my foot over and I start to go for the matrix. Before I can come up to the back, he sits down to his butt, so it makes it easy for me to invert through to this X-hook position. From here, I wanted to start lifting, but he fell out to the side that way. I unravel, drive my knee pressure in. From here, I could come up and pass. Go to the other side. From here, I could come up and pass the guard, but often as you do this, he's gonna turn back and then I roll through. It makes it easy to throw my foot over and come up.